Wellington, Texas is in the Cotton Belt, and it's where I was born in 1942. This is the first theater I ever attended, and my uncle, Pete, took me to see it. I was about 5 or 6 years old, and the movie we saw at this theater was Gene Autry. This is called the Rich Theater, located in Wellington, Texas. The whole town is pretty well abandoned because people left the Cotton Belt during the 50s and 60s. After World War II, the whole world changed, and this area suffered population loss because they could have a farmer farm the land with a tractor rather than using horses that they had during the 30s and 20s. Cotton was king here in the Cotton Belt. The Cotton Belt goes across from Wellington all the way over to Lubbock, and produces probably close to $100 million a year in cotton. This house here, my dad bought this house for $5,000 for my mother, but she didn't want to live there. That's the hospital I was born in, and this is downtown uh, Wellington. This is the train station that actually used to have a train that came by here, but no longer. The world's changed so much, all the trains are gone and done, but there's still a lot of skeletons left from what used to be and what is now. This is across the street from my grandmother's house, and across from the train station was her father's home, W.F. Chandler. I don't know who owns the land now. I think that John, Janie's son, bought the lot that Grandma used to have, which is directly across from the sheriff's department, and I think they use it for parking cars and keep it cleaned up. If you don't keep your lot cleaned up in Amarillo or Wellington, they send you a fine and make you keep your lot weed abatement. Weed abatement. They want to make sure there's no weeds. Anyhow, this is a little view of the town. There's a car we rented, 2012 Taurus. This is the cemetery where all my family's buried. We didn't go out to see any of them because the cemetery has expanded so much, it's no longer the same place. We did get together with the farmer, and I think that's what's coming up next. Jerry Lewis is our farmer, and he's been farming our land ever since Grandma moved off to town back in the 50s. His dad, Tommy Lewis, was the farmer before, and Jerry Lewis was kind enough to be a sharecropper with us. Here's a picture of his wife and him at lunch, and also Carolyn. This is the only restaurant that's open in Wellington. All the rest of them are closed. After careful review, I decided the best thing to do is take out all of the sound for this particular scene of us being at the restaurant ordering lunch. Carolyn is a gourmet eater, and now she's in Wellington, Texas, which is the only restaurant open in the town, and she is looking for gourmet food. As you can see, the farmer's wife is bewildered. Me and the farmer are having this fantastic conversation, telling him woes about GOO. GOO stands for Get Oil Out of Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara is an insane place that believes there should be no oil. They fly out to the oil derricks in their helicopters and protest because there's oil. The whole town is covered with asphalt, which is oil, and the whole town's nuts. I think Carolyn finally decided on something on the menu, maybe a salad. And Jerry's listening tense to my wild story about getting oil out. It's too bad the dialogue couldn't be picked up on because of the noise in the restaurant. There's not a restaurant in this country that you can go into without having tremendous background noise. Most especially as your hearing gets worse, the noise gets louder, it appears. When I was young, I paid no attention to it. Now that I'm older, the hearing and the noise in the background is becoming a real nuisance. I don't know where it's the age or where it's the noise. There's not any place you can go anymore unless there's a background music of drums beating, going boom, 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 which is very irritating. Anyhow, we're had a good lunch and we're moving on to go visit the farm. And Jerry's going to show us about the cotton he's growing on our farm. And we've been looking forward to seeing cotton. It's been a long time since I actually saw cotton grow. And again, when we do get out to the farm, the wind is going to be a problem. And again, I may have to take out all the dialogue because the wind is so strong. Let's see what happens next. I'll stop this and we'll move on. Note the cotton farm has a lot of wind and it's hard to hear anything because the wind blows so much.
Big enough equipment.
Okay, cut it out. Okay.
But it's all right. We trimmed it up and got it to where it doesn't bother our equipment.
That's cool.
But that's where I live, right there.
Okay.
And my mother and dad live right here.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. My grandmother and granddad lived right up.
That's the ones I remember up there. Your grandma and grandpa. I remember them.
Yeah, and then you go around the curve there, and there's a brick house there, and my dad's brother lived there. So we're all here pretty close.
Well, that's wonderful. Well, you're glad to have your family around.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's good.
Well, the cotton looks pretty good. I don't know much about it, but it looks...
Yeah, it's not bad. It's got a lot of fruit on it, a lot of bolls.
It does. Does it need any water? Is it need a little rain, or is it okay?
No, it's good right now. It's
don't need nothing.
Yeah, we'll put 2 chemicals, one to open the green bowls that haven't opened.
Yeah.
The
It's a lot different than you farmed it 50 years ago, huh?
Oh, yeah.
When you drug a big bag down through this here field and you broke your back, you had a lot of folks that were stoop labor coming out here helping you.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, you bet.
Well, you're keeping it in
tell
good
your
shape.
wife I enjoyed her.
Amarillo, Texas is where I was raised after we moved out from Wellington. The pictures you're seeing now is what used to be my dad's gas station and car lot. It's been turned into a liquor store, which he said years ago he thought that's what it should be. But Beatrice did not want to do that because she felt if someone got their whiskey from her liquor store and killed someone, she'd be responsible for them. That old house across the street, the brick house was our home, and the pink house was a rent house. This was B and Daddy's home. That's Dad's TV shop. And that's Beatrice's first house. There's the 2 houses together, the TV shop and the house. At the end of the street down there is Palador High School. This is the grade school that I went to. It's called Summit Grade School, and it's out by the smelter. And people refer to the people who went to school there as smelter rats. But I never was called a smelter rat. But a lot of people felt that they were smelter rats. I never considered myself a smelter rat. But yeah, this school now is closed, and it's been closed for a long time. But when I was a kid, it was its heyday. This house here, Dale and Dora bought this house for $7,500, and that was their home until they moved to Colorado. The upcoming place here is my junior high school called Sam Houston, and I enjoyed going to school there, and it was a nice campus. This is my best friend, David, been my friend since 1956, and he's always been a good buddy even though we don't do a lot together, and his wife Jan. They're wonderful people, and we've always enjoyed them. We had the chance to get together for dinner while we were visiting Amarillo. And you can see that we're all there having a good time as well as can be expected. Time runs out on all of us. Anyhow, I was just sharing some of these pictures with you. That's Jan. There's Corina and Kevin. This is our trip to Denton, Texas. Jack and Janie on a better day. And we had a chance to go visit with our son John at his house. And he's very creative and makes a lot of neat things. John's handiwork. I think you'll be impressed with his ability that he has for making beautiful stuff out of junk.
You can zoom in, zoom out, so Phil. This button here. And as long as that little red light's going, so you kind of have to keep the eye on the...
Okay.
And so you can just hang on to it. Take a picture of Jack and Grandma there.
It's a video.
Okay.
You're being videoed now. I'll sit there. Those almost.
Yeah, so cold.
What are you saying?
I said, what amazes me is you look at it and it looks like all new
It is all new. Made it
instead
brand,
of rusty.
made it all brand new.
Yeah, he
Here we
did.
go. We're starting to
Every little wire, every bolt.
John, if it won't start, it's a problem.
sound because John's Model T makes so much noise. I thought it might be worthwhile to interject here. John has completely restored these Model Ts to their original configuration or better. These cars are really, really neat, but they do have a loud noise, and John was going to give me a ride in his Model T. So we got her all fired up, backed up, and ready to head out. You'll find that the car is really small, or maybe I'm really large, one or the other, but there's just room in it for me and John. As we head out down John's path, it kind of reminds you how far we've came in the last 75 or 80 years. We have advanced in every area except the ability to get along with one another. This is one fine little Model T, and I know that John has enjoyed putting them together. You can realize the satisfaction of having accomplished something and know that you did it, and he enjoys them. Take them to the parade and hearing everyone talk about how nice the Model T is and what a good job he did. John has a very creative activity or creative mind that allows him to create things that did not exist, including his house, his driveway. All this stuff is his creation.
Where'd you get that?
I just got this in a weak moment. A guy had a pay. I tried to be like John, trying to find bargains. So I had this big old camera, it's high definition, and I went down to the camera store and I said, "What do you think about that?" They said, "I wouldn't buy it. So you can buy this new little camera, it's high definition, it does everything that." And so the other one is, it's 1080i. This is 1080p. This is interlace. And so it's a pretty neat camera.
So did you buy the piece to attach onto?
Came with it.
Really?
All that stuff came together. I bought this here for $100, this bottom part, because it turns out the camera's hard to hold. So you can zoom in and out, and you hold it steady. You'll be surprised how clear these pictures. When I show these on the big screen, I'll send you out a Blu-ray with everything on it.
Wow.
And you'll be able to show it up there on the big screen, and you back them over, and you'll see yourself like you've never seen yourself before. Like you say, "Wow, this is really, I got hairs on my nose." Jack, are you up for that?
Ain't got no teeth either.
Hairs on my nose and no teeth. As a matter of fact, this here zoomer zooms really slow. It's really quite the thing. Well, that little car there, do you take that out on Saturday night? Brandon? Yeah.
I like to drive it around. He lets me sometimes.
Sometimes you get a chance to drive it? What year is that one?
That was an old 9, I think.
It's nice. All right, here comes the girls. We'll zoom them in on them. Tell me about Marilyn Monroe again. Look at that belt buckle you got there. Good grief. Holy moly. Did you win that at the rodeo?
No.
That's kind of they have at the rodeo. Sarah, it's your turn. Come back here. Where are you hiding from? Come on, Sarah. You're pretty and here's what you're supposed to learn. You're important, you're smart, and you're very pretty. And you're valuable. Do you believe that?
Yeah.
Number one, you're smart, you're pretty, and you're valuable. And something else, what else did I just say? I don't remember.
That sounded good to me.
Important. You're important. Well, I better go round up Carolyn. We better go because she's, I think,
Had it fell off yet?
I don't know. That's not it. Here's your drip, Jimmy. Right here.
she got a lot of pecans she picked.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, it was smart.
Kevin, don't run away. Were you leaving?
I'll be right back.
You're on. Well, this is Carolyn's first trip to Texas, so it's been a shock to her system. Can you imagine?
This is the best place to be.
That's what they tell me.
Well, if you're born and raised here, yeah.
It's okay. It's okay.
Just get used to wherever you are.
So it's how many years you guys been at 45, 40?
46.
46.
Yeah.
You think it's going to work out after that long? That's always a question. She
Didn't throw me out now.
No.
No.